Good afternoon. My name is Zeta and I am reviving my YouTube channel to make this video. This is a channel that I really want to be focused around self-love and compassion, and then also just like fun vlogs and stuff. So if you're into that, you can go ahead and subscribe. If not, all good, it doesn't matter. This video is going to be about your inner child and how to connect with your inner child again, and especially if you've been like very traumatized, you've had a lot of shit go on, you're an adult now, you've been very bogged down with like the everyday life, like everyday life just got you down. You're going to work, you're going home, you're making dinner, and you feel like, what the fuck do I do now? Like I've completed my checklist of success in life, but I feel like I've lost that inner portion of myself. You got to heal your inner child. And it's easier said than done. Trust me, it's definitely easier said than done. I am 21, so I'm not like fully, I haven't experienced like all of life yet. I'm not going to claim to have done that, but I am very in touch with my inner child, and I have had a lot of trauma that had prevented me from being in touch with her for the past year. And now I'm finally getting back into that healing energy where I'm able to be like, okay, she's coming back. So healing your inner child is going to be a personal experience for everybody. It really depends obviously on who you are, how you were like as a child. For me personally, I was very into video games. I was very into like creativity. Like I remember making like little potions. I liked dressing up. I liked riding my scooter. I liked being, I was more of a tomboy as a kid. I'm actually more of a girly girl now, but I was definitely more of a tomboy. Like I liked watching WWE with my friends. Like there was just certain things that I liked. So the first step to connecting with your inner self, your inner child, because at the end of the day, I believe that our inner self is our inner child, because that's who we are in our most purest form. Especially, before any trauma, before anybody really hurt us, we were pure and we were just kind children. Maybe you weren't a kind child, but at your soul core, you are. At your soul's inner self, at the very, very core, everybody is kind. So for me, the best way to connect with my inner child was to start with hobbies, honestly. I started to think about, okay, what did I like to do? What did I like to do as a kid? And would I still like to do that today? For example, I really was obsessed with computers. When I was a kid, I was modding Minecraft at like 8, 9 years old. I don't even know how to do that anymore. And the fact that I knew more about computers as a child than now, when I'm like literally about to go to college and study computer science, it's groundbreaking. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, little genius. And I kind of let that fizzle out. And the whole point of us doing this, and the person watching this video, it's to ignite whatever spark you feel like you've lost since you were a kid. Because let's face it, adulthood kills people. It really does. I mean, it kills people's souls. There are so many evil people in the world. So many people face betrayal, and it ends up just breaking people's hearts, and then they don't address it through therapy, and then they just become a cold shell of who they were. And I refuse to be that person, and if I can help it, I refuse to let you be that person, because I want to help you out. Be in touch with your inner child just by remembering what you like to do first. That's going to be the easiest way. You don't have to be perfect to start out. You don't have to be this soul. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything about, connecting with your inner self or your highest self or whatever. All you have to do, first step, is think, what did I like as a kid? What did I like as a kid? And try it. So for me, I really liked video gaming. I just played video games. I literally just played Roblox. Haven't played Roblox in like God knows how long. And I feel like, okay, I just connected with my inner child, right? Maybe you really liked some vintage toy. Maybe you really liked vintage Care Bears. Get yourself a Care Bear. Like, seriously. And just look at it and hug it and remind yourself that you are still the little, I'm a little girl, little boy, little whatever, little kid that lives inside of you. You are always going to be your youngest self. You're always going to be your inner child. So for me, I have little squishmallows and I keep them all over, and I'm like, oh yeah, like this is so a cute little memento of who I am. And my spirit and your spirit lives through the joy that you had as a child and the joy that you have today. It's not gone. And who says that you can't combine your adult-like spirit with your childlike spirit? Because at the end of the day, it's still the same spirit. Whew, we're going on a rant. So I have here 10 exercises. I got this from Psych Central that you can use to acknowledge your inner child. So just to be clear, your inner child does not necessarily just mean like childlike, like you're like flapping around, like having fun like a kid. It means that there is a deep part of you that remembers your childhood and also remembers childhood trauma. It's a subconscious state of mind. So it can be childlike. You know, for me, I get to be very playful because I was a very playful, mischievous kid. But some of us were more mature kids from the start. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're super childlike. It just means that you're connecting with your deepest soul, your deepest self. And then also your inner child is representing a state of mind where you feel safe, just being yourself, being authentic. Because let's face it, when we were children, we didn't have to worry that much about what society thought of us. And nowadays it's like, oh my God, especially for women, you got to worry about how you look. You got to worry about what you wear. You got to worry about how you talk. You got to be worried about how you present to the world, how you interview, how you do everything. Because if you don't do something right, you're doing something wrong. And there was no right or wrong as a kid. We were just children. And now it's like you can't be just adults. You have to fit in society's mold. So personally, I don't follow that. I don't like following I don't like society telling me how to be and what to do, because it's just like, okay, you can tell me what to do, but I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna be myself authentically, and this is just honestly the best way to do that. So this isn't just a tutorial on how to connect with your inner self, but also just to be yourself, because yourself, whether you're connected with your inner self or not, is valuable and worth it. Like, you're so worth it. Self-love is worth it even if you can't connect with your inner self, but you will, because we're going to learn. Think about some hobbies. Start making a list and try it. If you liked painting, if you liked coloring, do it. Put on some music you used to like as a kid. Watch a TV show. I know that they say that it's not a childlike state of mind, but it really can be if you let it be. And sometimes that's very healing in itself. Just to like take you to a throwback and be like, oh, throwback, like I really love this. And then you can just be like having some peace, knowing that you have control over your inner child now, and that nobody else, especially if you're traumatized, like nobody else has control over you anymore. You are your highest self now. You are in control of that little girl or that little boy that lives inside of you. Another way to show yourself love and your inner self love is to hug yourself. Give yourself hugs. Dance around. I love dancing. Put on some freaking music. Put on some music that you used to love. Go back to an old playlist and jam out. Have a good time. Don't let anybody stop you. I will go ahead and put in my headphones on a hike and go to a spot in the forest and dance. And I don't care if anybody walks by, because guess what? It's my world. I'm a Disney princess. It's my world. I'm living in it. That's the attitude you have to have. You have control over your reality. Nobody else does. And what's meant for you will be in your life. What isn't meant for you will not be in your life. So be free-spirited. Have fun. Know that you have power. Even if you're poor, even if you're stressed every single day, you can't afford groceries. We all know that there's stuff going on with the price of living right now. You know what you do have control over? Your spirit. They can never take your spirit. Nobody can. The government can't. Your job can't. Your abusive partner can't. Your abusive dad, mom, whatever. Nobody can take that from you. Only you can let that be taken from you. Okay? Only you let your spirit die. And only you can revive your spirit if you've already let it die. But I believe that since you're here watching this video, or if you're my friend, you already have a spirit. It's there. It's in you. It's able to be revived. You have a soul. Everybody has a soul. And especially in my eyes, I believe we're all God's children. So connecting with your inner child is vital for spiritual growth and inner self-growth and self-love and compassion. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in your highest self. Have faith that your highest self is taking care of your inner child. And that's why you're here watching this video. Picture a happy childhood moment. So think of something that you loved to do as a kid, that you were having a lot of fun. Just remember, especially if you've experienced trauma, sometimes we only remember the trauma. Try to remember a happy moment. Try to remember what went well, because even if you had the most torturous, worst childhood ever, there had to be moments where, maybe you had a game you really liked, or maybe you had a movie you loved to watch, and it really just like brought some light out in you. Think about that. Think about that, and think about how you felt in that moment. For me, I really loved making little YouTube videos like this. This is healing my inner child, even if nobody watched it, right? I didn't care as a kid if anybody watched it, and I don't care if anybody watches this now. Because all I did as a kid was freaking ride around my scooter all day and make videos of that and try to make little episodes. Like, I had a little series called Power Girl, and she had like little powers, and it was like, yeah, we're cool. I wasn't cool, but it was fun. So do something that revitalizes your spirit is the point. I'll put some ideas on the screen here just to give you some ideas to be more in touch with your childlike side and your inner spirit. Affirmations. Affirmations are vital. I cannot stress them enough. What you think comes true. This goes hand in hand with manifestation, if you're familiar with that. If not, I might make a video on that as well, but there are plenty of videos on manifestation online. Just please do not buy anybody's freaking course. You don't need a course on manifestation. The basics of manifestation is that what you believe and what you think is what you attract. So it's the same thing with affirmations. What you think comes true. Like, if you tell yourself every day, I am ugly, I am horrible, I am bad at my job, I am bad at this, I will never succeed, you're not gonna get anywhere. You're going to stay in that low vibration. You're going to stay stuck. If you think to yourself every day, I am beautiful, I am kind, I am smart, I am giving, the world always gives back to me, then you'll see that in a reflection of the reality that's around you. I mean, the world is a mirror. I was taught that long ago, and I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't really have the brain development, I guess, to really understand it yet. And now I do, because the way that you perceive the world, the way that you perceive others, the way that you perceive yourself matters. So do not talk to yourself every day like, oh I'm so ugly, I have so many wrinkles, I'm so fat, I'm so whatever. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter. I'm too skinny, I'm too big. Society is putting all these labels on us and all this pressure on us to keep us at a low vibration, at a low frequency. Because if people rise up and they start to ascend and they start to realize their self-value, what happens? Oh, we gain too much self-confidence and we have too much power over our realities. Right. So your inner child, when you were thinking like, oh, you can create pixie dust, you can do this, you can create anything you want, you're right. Like, your inner child was right. The joy of a child is so strong. The vibration, the freaking energy of a child is so pure for a reason. Your inner child is so vital to nurture, because when you connect with your inner child, not only are you healing trauma and allowing yourself to be nurturing to yourself again and stop belittling yourself, but you're also ascending to a higher frequency and a higher vibration so that you can live a better life and a better reality. Again, it doesn't matter if you're poor, it doesn't matter if you're rich, it doesn't matter if you're ugly, it doesn't matter if you're beautiful, because there is no poor, rich, ugly, beautiful when we're talking about energy, when we're talking about our inner child. We are all just children of God, remember? We're all just children. Even if you don't believe in God, we're all just little children. Seriously. Adults are just big kids. We're all just playing house. Basically, I mean, we're all just doing it. We all got our role. The way that I think of it is, why do you think jobs are called roles? To me, it's like we're all just acting. We're all just acting in whatever roles we're put in. Or the hidden rule is, you know, you have to stay in that role and not break the status quo, because if you break the status quo and you try to be, say, like, for me, right, I'm going to be a computer scientist. I'm going to study computer science and do fashion at the same time. That's like kind of breaking the status quo. I'm also going to be a woman in that field. So, you know, it's breaking the status quo, but it's like, who says you can't do it, right? Who says that I can't do that and be a singer? That's what I'm going to do anyway. I'm going to be a singer, I'm going to be a seamstress, and I'm going to be a coder. Who says you can't do that? I want to be like Barbie, and maybe I'll change my career. Maybe I'll go back to college and study something else. Maybe I'll study environmental science. Who says that you can't do it? Society tries to make us choose our role in the world. Like, society forces people pretty much to choose their role in society at the age of 18 when they go to college. And it's like, what do you want to study? I know you just came out of high school. I know that your brain hasn't even fully developed yet, but what do you want to study? And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Connect with your inner child first. Get a sense of self, and you'll get there. You might be 40 watching this video like, holy shit, like, what do I want to do with my life? What did my inner child want to do? I wanted to be so much when I was a kid, and now I feel like so lost. Well, you can still do that. It's never too late. I hate when people say it's too late. Like, oh, it's too late. Like, I'm too old to go back to college. No. Go to school. That's another way you can heal your inner child. Pursue your inner child's passions. I don't care if you've worked a dead-end job 9 to 5 for the past 40 years. If your inner child was saying you wanted to freaking drive race cars, go find a way to drive race cars, man. Do it. Nothing's stopping you. The only thing stopping you is yourself. And your lack of belief in your highest self taking care of your inner child. The best way that I visualize it is, if you don't believe in God, believe in something bigger than yourself. Believe that your highest self is out there, which I also believe is linked to your inner child, because your highest self is the one that has all the dreams, the one that has all the spirit, right? And that links with your childlike spirit, which is what we all are at our core. I like to envision myself sitting afar. So like for me, my name's Zeta. So I imagine like a higher version of myself, higher Zeta, sitting on the roof right now, watching over me, like Santa. Okay? I also make a lot of references to my childhood to make sense of the world. That's another way you can do it. Because once you start seeing the world as like a little video game, life's kind of like just like a little video game. Really, it's just like, how do you want to play the video game? Do you want to just be shoved into a corner and be told what to do? Or do you want to connect with your inner self and take control over your life in little ways? You might have to work a 9 to 5, and that's fine. But what are you going to do from 5 to 9? What are you going to do? Are you going to sit around and watch all the media? Or are you going to create and blossom and dance and sing and make art, or drive race cars, or whatever you want to do? Like, just fun stuff that you want to do and not be told how to live. You don't have to be told how to live. I mean, people are going to tell you. Everyone has their opinions. But you don't have to listen. And it's unwise to listen to anything society says. You know why? Because society is constantly changing. Think about what society looked like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago. Don't ever listen to what a group of people is telling you to do. Don't ever listen to what society tells you to do. Don't ever become what society wants you to become, because you and your inner child deserve more than that. That's one of the best ways to heal your inner child, is to just accept the fact that you might have to be unique and you might face criticism for that. But you shouldn't give up at all, because you are worth more than other people's opinions. Period. Write a letter to your inner child. Write a letter to your younger self. I did this a while back, and I apologized to her for not studying computers earlier. Something that I regret this year was trying to fit into society's box of what progress is, especially regarding my career. And I actually now have the opportunity to study in college full-time and work part-time, which I think would have been better for me from the start, but I was too focused on trying to gain other people's approvals to really do that. I think a lot of us fall into that category where we're trying to please our boss and we overwork ourselves and we lose our own sense of self. And that doesn't really end well when it comes to your spirit, because your spirit needs to be nurtured and your passions need to be nurtured. So write a letter to your younger self and say, you know, what are you proud of, right? Because I wrote that I regretted things. Don't focus on the regrets. Focus on what you're proud of. Focus on what you're happy for. What went well? What are you doing that's going well? You're here. You're alive. You're breathing. Did you smile today? Your younger self would love that. This is really, really important. Identify your triggers. Identify what emotionally triggers you. For me, it's when people talk about their positive family memories. I know that's like really crazy because people talk about positive family memories all the time, but that's like a huge trigger for me, is like when people are like, oh, me and my rich ass family went to like the Poconos and the Bahamas, and I'm like, okay, good for you. Like I am so jealous. I get so jealous when people talk about their upbringing and when I see people's houses and how they lived because of my personal trauma. So identify your own personal triggers, figure out what pisses you off basically, or what gets you like emotional, like whether it's sad, angry, whatever, when other people talk or when you see it on TV or whatever makes you tick. And then you have to learn coping mechanisms to deal with those. Otherwise, you're just triggering yourself and you're never going to get better. So for me, when I get really triggered, when I think about that, all I ever do is I remember, like, look, God allowed me to be here now. I'm here now. I'm grateful to have a warm apartment. I'm grateful that I got to experience life so far the way that I did. I've met some amazing people. I've learned some amazing lessons, and I'm only 21. Think about what you learned through your trauma rather than what you've lost. I know that's really hard, but a lot of the times, not that it makes it just, it's not good that the trauma happens to us, but a lot of the times, sometimes trauma really does make a person stronger, not weaker. So don't think of yourself as weaker, because you're not weak, because you have emotional triggers. People say the word, oh, you're triggered, like right online. It's okay. It's okay to be triggered. Fuck them. Fuck them, bro. It's okay to be triggered. It's okay. You have trauma. Don't worry about it. You're golden. You're good. You're a golden soul. This one's really important. Make time for play. This is what I was talking about earlier. Play. Have fun. This is like the most vital part, for real. Triggers, being proud of yourself and loving yourself, like talking to yourself, positive self-talk, and then playing. I have toys. I literally play with toys. Like, I literally have little Barbie dolls. I have like Squishmallows. My boyfriend likes to play with Legos. Like, play, have fun. It's worth it. Play video games. A lot of times, you know why boys are so fucking goofy? Because they heal their inner child. They spend way too much time with their inner child, actually. I shouldn't even say boys. It's like men. Like, it's grown men. Not the stereotype, but there are a lot of grown men that like still play video games 24/7 if they could. You know, and it's because they don't disconnect from their inner child. And that's not even a bad thing. If all of society connected to their inner child and was open about it in public, it probably would be a more beautiful world. But it's just that women, I mean, I'm talking specifically to women because we're kind of, from the start, it's like, oh, girls mature more. Like, we're kind of forced to be grown up faster. And that's not fair. And if you're a woman or a man watching this, it doesn't matter what your gender is. Connect with your inner child. Don't like I said, girls mature more. Says who? I don't care if there's studies. Just fucking ignore it. You might. On average, they might, but you might be different. You might be unique. It's okay to be unique. It's okay to be childlike and have a childlike spirit. It doesn't mean you're childish. It just means that you are pure and you have a golden soul. Meditate. Meditation's important. You can look up meditation specifically for healing your inner child. and it'll come up with a bunch of different results, and it'll help you. Also, listen to high frequency music. You can look up frequencies that help with anxiety. You can look up frequencies that help with, sleep. There are I listen to frequencies all the time when I sleep. Subliminals. You can listen to subliminals where it's like, that's where the manifestation comes in. Where it's like, I am, it's affirming. It's like, I am beautiful, I am wealthy, I am healthy, whatever. Like, that's what you can play, and it'll play over music, and it'll say those words softly in the background. That's what a subliminal is. Listen to those frequencies, subliminals, meditation. All are very good for your soul. And then continuing to educate yourself. So honestly, this is just about healing the bits and pieces of yourself that are, it's like we're seeing ourselves as not whole, right? We feel like we're so damaged. We're damaged goods. You're not damaged goods. You're just a little puzzle piece right now that needs to be put together. And that glue that's going to put the puzzle together is healing your inner child and healing yourself and recognizing that you're worthy of care. And then, of course, therapy, medication if needed, and etc. But this was just about your inner child. Again, I really hope that, you make art. Art is very therapeutic. A lot of children love art. I think all humans kind of love art at our core. I think a lot of us do. Even if you're not artistic, pull out coloring and just start coloring what's on your mind, or make a little scrapbook. I can show you something that I made in the hospital. So this was a project we did where it was what's going on in our minds and what's going on in our hearts. So this is mine. As you can see, it's all childlike. Revolution, being my own advocate, diversity, my family, makeup, headphones for music, a house, magic mirror, because like vanity, Ariel, because I resonate with Ariel as a princess a lot. Learning tablet, chicken noodle soup, because I love chicken noodle soup. And then in my heart, I did roses, all the Disney princesses, cookies, butterfly for the butterfly effect, and then a dream machine for all of my dreams that I know I'm going to make true. And then this quote that says, those are our ancestors, there are people, our spirits, because I'm constantly thinking about my ancestors and my spirit and nurturing that. So yeah, this is just a basic video on self-love, really, for your inner child, because in my opinion, all self-love comes from our root self, which is little us, especially the little us that has been damaged, or hurt, and we need to heal them, and instead of pushing it down with drugs and alcohol and sex and just all these things that we use to distract ourselves from pain, because we're worth more than that. We are worth more than any of that worldly temptation. We are worth healing our inner child. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I'm looking forward to making more videos soon, and I love you very much, whoever's watching this. And yeah, I make music too, so I'm gonna put the link to my music in the description box here. If you want to listen to that, it's on BandLab. I might put it on Spotify soon. And yeah, I'll make more videos soon where it'll be like vlogs, gaming, just like a bunch of different stuff. But I really hope that this helped, and even if it only helps one person, or even if I only get to show this to my boyfriend, I don't really care, as long as it helps somebody eventually. Maybe one day, 10 years from now, somebody will watch this video and it'll help them out. So, yep. I hope you have a great day. Bye.